What is going on, my lovely and beautiful D.D.D fam? It is your boy Brennan, aka Drip from Team D.D.D, back with another video. In today's video, I have a updated Orcust K-9 deck. I got second place at a box tournament with this. Technically should have got first, but I lost the tiebreakers. What else is new? I don't understand how they make the double loss system to try to fix tiebreakers, but yet just because one of my opponents had a double loss against somebody else, it prevented me from winning the whole entire event. So it's whatever. Can't do nothing about it. It's just Konami being Konami stuff. So, but either way, I got second place with this list. I trimmed all the fat. Granted, like, I'm not saying this version is better than my last version. It just trimmed the fat in the form of like making it more, not really of a glass cannon, but it doesn't give you as many layers as the other one did. With like running the Nightmare and the NT8000 and all that. I trimmed all that out, but I think this is where I want it moving forward until the format changes drastically or some other deck enters the room. I have it where my engine is where I want it, the non-engine is where I want it, the consistency is there, and I still can play the deck the way that I want to play it, not the way everybody else wants me to play it, the way I want to play it. So we're going to be doing this in portions. Starting out, it's going to be the engine, the main engine, obviously, which is ORCUST. I am on 3 Girsu, 3 harp, 1 cymbal, 1 wand, 1 chalice. I cut the Nightmare. At first, it was a hard thing to do to get adjusted to not playing Nightmare. But one thing I will say is the only time not having the Nightmare comes up is when you're trying to play around Fua. It makes it harder to play around Fua, and you don't get. That's one thing I really like about Nightmare is you can go +2 under Fua to where your opponent doesn't go +2 as well. They only go +1. So you basically get an extra +1 without allowing your opponent to plus under Fua. And when you draw like both of these, then it really sucks because you have to sequence your lines a certain way, being able to discard one of these, be able to keep things well. But you could still do the same loop to where you summon this by sending this, because you just use this, summon this, send this, and then summon this from hand after you already added it back. So you can still do that line. Or if you wanted to play Crown, you could do that, but I don't think you need Crown anymore. Now that the Fiendsmith engine is basically obsolete, you don't need it anymore. Yeah, that's it for the Orcust monsters. Then the Orcust generic monsters / spells. I'm not playing Return, it's not needed. Recycler, it's honorary Orcust card. You can abuse this card. You basically just do the K-9 Crystron route, if you know the combo line for that. That's it for the Orcust monsters. On to the next portion, which is the K-9. I play a heavy K-9 package. People say that this package is bad. If you don't play a lot of 5s, they try to tell me that just because I play Chalice, it's not enough reason to play this engine. I find that highly incorrect, but it's whatever. It works for me. That's all that matters. 3 Azuna, 3 Jokul, 1 Lantern, 1 Lupus, 1 Nori, and 2 Case. I don't play Unleashed or whatever, the quick play spell. That card's fucking ass. Basically, all that is a K-9 iteration, which in my opinion is a worse iteration than playing Nightmare, because all that the card does is add an extra layer of interruption to your board, which is nice. But I feel like if I was going to do that, then I would just play the Orcust cards. That gives me more interaction, because like, okay, what are you going to get off of the werewolf? A pop and then a hand rip, right? Well, the hand rips is just win more, because if you time your stuff properly, they're going to be low on resources anyways. So the pop, if we're just going off of a base pop, so let's just say we're going off a base pop with just werewolf, okay? So you're running 1 additional brick for 1 pop, as of where if you played Nightmare and NT8000, yes, that is 2 additional bricks, but you get 2 additional interruptions. So if we're just going click for click and in the form of interaction with interaction, then it's a no-brainer for me personally in my playstyle to play the NT8000 and the Nightmare, because the ability to send NT8000 on my opponent's turn to summon and then to use its effect to pop my Ilil Girsu after I use its effect to be able to get its graveyard effect too, and popping one, is just a no-brainer to me because I'm popping one off of the NT8000 and popping my Ill Gear Suit to be able to banish it to send something else. So you get 2 more additional interruptions. So if I'm going to go that route, then I would just prefer going the ORCUST route. But I don't like that, and I've never missed it, never needed it. Because if you go full combo with this, then they're just not breaking your board anyways. We already have a crap ton of normal summons, but I never really find myself normaling this. If I find myself normaling this, then I'm playing far behind anyways, and I'm only going to be able to do K-9 combo. Because you don't get an additional normal summon. I think a lot of ORCUST K-9 players forget that, so that like some people will be trying to go Nori to go the Crystron package route and like doing an illegal and additional normal summon with Scrap Recycler. It makes no sense to me. I just think some Yu-Gi-Oh players don't know how to read. But either way, I usually send this, or I'll foolish it off of Azuna, because if I go full combo, I'm adding a second Azuna for my opponent's turn anyways. So I'll send this off of Azuna. If like Azuna and Jokel add Lantern, add summon back Nori, Lantern effect get Case, and then I'll get a peek at their hand. And what's really nice about that is it allows you to sequence your combo properly, like let you know if you need to go Crescendo route, if you need to go Babel route, or if you need to go both, or whatever the case may be. I like the Nori. Shout out to my friend and teammate Andrew for letting me borrow it. I would not run it more than one because it is the worst normal summon. It is. The main thing that it's in there for that I really like is the fact that it allows me to get hand knowledge, and the fact that it's an additional level 5 because the K9 cards matter. Hand traps. I finally got this where I want it, where I like it, for everything Mitsu, Yummy, Mirrors, K9 cards, etc. Rogue. 3 Imperm, 3 Fua, and then 2 Perulia. I was on 2 Bell, but the ability to bait an Ash with this, or just turn this basically being an upstart goblin, is really, really nice. At worst, it's an upstart goblin, but it's really nice into. I think it's better into Yummy than a lot of people are giving it credit for, because if they don't open a bunch of names, either way they still got to get to names. So you're at least getting +2 off of this, and if not, they ash this, then Fuwa's just gas, because then it just resolves if you open them in tangent with one another. And then if both of these stick, then you're just gassed out, because it's just really, really good, because you play the K9 cards, which allows you to play on turn 0, and then all you really need is one ORCUST card to resolve. But yeah, that's all for the monster portion of the non-engine. Spells, you need to main this card if you're an ORCUST player right now. Draco Tail takes a giant dookie on your life, bro. Arthalion is a problem against this deck. Shuffling your stuff back from the field, shuffling your stuff back from the graveyard, it's just a problem. So this being able to stop that and anything else problematic is really, really nice. And like dodging targeting effects. It's not that bad into like the Arclight boards. It's not that bad into like Mitsu. It's not that bad. It's just really solid. And then power spells, 1 called by, 1 prosp, 1 foolish. Round it off for a clean 40. All these are really good. I really like prosperity. A lot of people playing talents, and I like talents if I have the extra space for talents. But if you've been around here for a while, you know how I feel about it. Yes, it's going to be kind of hypocritical when I say this here in a second, and I'm running called by, but it's a little bit different. What I mean by that is I don't like running cards that are reaction based cards. I like cards that are action based, in the form of like, I can only activate this card if my opponent does said thing or whatever. And yes, I know that sounds hypocritical because of Called by the Grave, but this, even if they don't react, this is an additional interruption / hand trap per se, because it stops something in the graveyard, which is really nice. Clean 40. Time for the extra deck. The extra deck is legit perfect in my opinion. The only thing I wish I could run is like another rank 5 potentially. But for me and my playstyle, it's perfect. And I summoned it, I think every single card at least once during the box tournament. Clockwork Knight. This is the if you don't open ORCUST cards, obviously you can go this route with your K9 cards. It bridges your K9 cards with your ORCUST, because you just go get the Scrap Recycler. And what's really nice too is if you're going that route, then you're obviously going to have Infinity Track on board. So if you normal summon Scrap Recycle, and they go Ash or Imperm, you can just link it off into this effect, target this recycler, pop the Infinity Track summon back to the recycler, and use its effect again. Recycler is not a once per turn. So even if they stop it, you're getting to your Orcus cards no matter what. You just are. One Baby Taya, Galatea I call her Baby Taya. Standard, you don't need more than one. Link twos. Two Galatea comes up. If you're running one, then you're just expecting things to go your way all the time, and you're not preparing to be unprepared, and that's just incorrect in my opinion. Two always comes up for me. Even if I don't use the second one turn one, I go this into Longirsu. Those grindy matches that you need to shuffle one back or you need an additional level two, link two, even if it's not a Galatea one, is just so crucial. SP Little Knight's the last link two. It's Little Knight. There's literally nothing needs to be said about that. The only link three I run is Longirsu. This card comes up definitely in the grindier matches to shuffle your stuff back. And a lot of people play into the link zones very hard, and it's kind of insane how often they do that. Because not everybody's going to be expecting Orcus, right? One Illugearsu, our boss monster of the deck, the best boy. People still don't really know what this card does, and it's insane. This card just catches people off guard. Every time I resolve its effect, they're like, do I get it back during end phase, right? And I'm like, nah, fam, that's my card now. Our card. Best boy. And then this next card, controversial, but this card has saved my ass so many times. And in an open board, like if you go Charmy or whatever, and your opponent's dumb and don't play, and they just leave an open board, one singular Girsu resolving turns this card into an OTK. And that is Boral Sword. In an open board, or one monster on board, one singular Girsu turns into this and an OTK. Because you end with this and you end with Dingirsu. And Dingirsu plus this over one monster or an open board is OTK. This deck is way too fucking fair to not have an auto kill button. Access Code Talker's dog shit. Your entire deck is dark. Don't do that. You're dumb if you do. Boral Sword. 2019, baby. We're going back. Okay? We're going back in time. Hop in with your boy Drip, and let's get in the time machine and go back. And that's what we're going to do with Boral Sword. Every time I summon this card, I feel like everyone always like, they either had to read it because they didn't play back then, or they're like, that card still exists, or you still play that card? And I'm like, yeah. Now watch me kill you with it. But yeah, one singular Girsu resolving in an open board or one card on board is a one card OTK. Assuming if they don't have hand traps or you have hand traps to stop their hand traps or whatever the case may be. Because I've done it multiple times. Or even through a Fu, if they don't draw Nib or something, and they already have one monster, they can't imperm you or anything. So whatever they draw, as long as they don't draw Nib, you're fine. Then XEs, we got Dingirsu. Prefer ulti over Starlight or QCR. Sorry, I just do. Same with that's why I run the ulti Galateas. Ripper, Standard, Nash. I thought about cutting the Nash Knight package in general because it takes up so much room in the extra deck and just run other like generic rank 5s. But this card, being able to just completely get rid of where they can't play with their monster anymore, they don't have access to it anymore, is so huge. On top of that, like in the mirror, like turning their board off and then snatch stealing theirs and then having targets in the extra deck is really funny. I've done that several times too. One C101, I actually hard summoned this one time in the box tournament. It was actually insane. I was so shocked that it actually came up. But that's the exact reason why I run this and not the regular 101, because I can actually hard summon this if I need to. Because like I had 3 level 5s on board, and one of them like my whatchamacallit got ashed or whatever, my Azuna. And then I was like, all right, well, I have to do something with these bodies. Just leaving one on board is not really going to do nothing. So I just I summoned this and snatched their stuff. Oh, excuse me. One Valon. I opted to keep this instead of Jax. The reason being because in the Rogue, this card is cracked. On top of that, into Dracotail, you get a 2-for-1 off of this. And if you open said droplets, this card plus droplets is really nice in a Draco Tail because you can go droplets, send this, turn off something, and then this card affecting graveyard to pop one of their back row. So that's really handy too. I know that sounds like a niche interaction, but the reason why I opted to keep this is because like the additional pop I'm not worried about because I have plenty of ways to steal and send non-targeting that I wasn't really too worried about a pop. But that's why I opted to keep Valen because it's more generic into the rogue matches and back row matches and Dragon Tail, which is the roughest matchup for this deck. So you basically get to clear 2-for-1, or 2-for-3. You get to clear 3-for-2 because you get this these two, one to book, one to turn off, and then send this to pop another. So it helps you break boards more efficiently. The last rank 5 is obviously the Infinity Track Riverstormer to help you go the route for your K-9s to get access to your Orcust engine. Last card is Typhon, aka Emperor Zurg from Toy Story, because he looks just like Emperor Zurg. The only reason I really run him is so I can, if I hard draw Lupus and nothing else, I can make Typhon turn 0. That's literally the only reason I run this. Other than that, it doesn't never come up. But I just run it for that very reason. Side deck I got really balanced for like overall generic for the format, but you can adjust it to how you see fit with your event or your locals or whatever. 3 Droll, 3 Bell. These cards are disgusting. Controversial, but good when paired with something else is Nibiru. This card is really good when it's paired with another hand trap. It's just when you see it individually and nothing else, it really sucks and hurts. But I really wanted to go like I wanted to side out Charmies when I knew they weren't good, or side out my K-9 engine when I knew they weren't good, and just side in more non-engine. And it's that theory and that like thought process helped me win so many freaking games because we have so much consistency in the form of like the Orcust cards where we just draw any kind of starter and we're gassed. But like drawing more hand traps with taking out like because this will be the 3 Azuna, 3 Jokul, 2 2 Case, and then the lantern and all that stuff. So like and plus whatever else you may need to side out too. It's just really nice to side this in on that because it increases your non-engine consistency of drawing multiples. Then in breakers, I still like breakers against some decks. Dark Ruler, turn off yummy boards. Feather Duster because of I feel like if we simplify the board for like Dragon Tail, just get rid of their back row or bait out their interaction, and then we can just eat through their board. And then 2 Lightning Storm for Mitsu and random rogue decks and Dragon Tail. Self-explanatory. I only own 2 is the only reason why I run 2, and I don't want to draw multiples. So like, if I draw these in tangent with one another, then I'd rather do that. But that's it for the deck. Main, extra, and side. 40, 15, 15. I really like this list. I don't think I'm going to change anything about it. I'm probably going to stick with this one from a competitive standpoint. Like if I were to go to a bigger event, this would be the one that I take. I do miss running the Nightmare Layer package though with the NT8000 and all that. I just wanted to trim down the fat and fit in more non-engine, and the ability to fit in Perulia was really, really good because like there's no other hand trap that I would rather have in that place because like I feel like yes, it's terrible like drawing into, but like if you open enough gas and you know you're playing against K-9, being able to activate it turn 0 is just nice. Like what the hell is you get more pluses off of this than you do a Bell per se if they have a Zuna in hand. Because if you shotgun it and then they go Azuna and then you get one draw, as where if you just had Bell or something in hand, they go Azuna, jump Lupus, and then Lupus effect, you go Bell, then they're just going to get the Lupus back next turn unless you play you overextend and then have to go into SP Little Knight with your combo in order to banish the Lupus. Because if not, then you're just going to play right into the Lupus the following turn, and they're going to get what they want regardless. As where with the Perulia, you're getting a draw, at least one draw, pretty much, if they don't have like Nib or something like that too. But yeah. That's my thought process on it. There's nothing else I really would want to switch in its place, and I've really wanted to run Perulia because I want 5 Charmies. My sweet spot is 5 Charmies. No matter whatever iteration they are, 3 Fua, obviously, and either 2 Perulia or 2 Meows if when Meows is in the format, whatever the case may be. But that's my thought process. I'm sorry for the long video. I just wanted to describe everything in full detail and my reasoning for everything. I'm sure I probably left some out, but this is just the way I like to play the deck and the way I've had success. I will say the wand comes up. It really does. It really, really does. Whether it's the grind game or not, wand comes up. You'll never catch me not running wand. Never. No, sir. Nope. Wand is mandatory. But either way, guys, please like this video if you like this kind of content. Please check the description for all the ways to support me, my Patreon, my Discord, my affiliate links. All that good stuff is down there as well. My merch store and everything down there as well. Get you some Team D.D.D merch. And be on the lookout for future content. It's your boy Brendan AK Drip from Team D.D.D. Sign out to next time. Peace. Good doing, my guys. Love you.